Have you ever found yourself nitpicking everything that is wrong with you, or came to a moment of bad self-talk on someone's initial opinion? Those specific opinions are the ones describing the things that make you your own person. Everyone has felt this at one point or another, feeling a doubtfulness of whether or not they are enough. With everything we point out that isn't perfect, we create these insecurities. Having these internal thoughts on repeat in a consistent motion makes it seem like it's never going to stop. Nevertheless, I experienced this to the core. Being told the greatest things about me was the worst. The doubt brewing up in my inner thoughts every single time that I looked at myself. But the realization of it all set in and made myself love me. Right now, I would like to tell you 3 main points explaining the realization that occurred to me about to love my imperfections. By 1, explaining the beginning of an unhealthy relationship towards my imperfections. 2, how this internally consumed me. And 3, the process of learning to love it. Firstly, I'm going to be explaining the beginning of my unhealthy relationship towards my imperfections. This unhealthy relationship developed in elementary school when a classmate came up to me pointing out the way my eye veins on my eyelids were so apparent that they were weird. He continued to say that I was weird and different from anyone else. His friends consistently picked on me at the newfound insecurity, making it worse and worse within my mind. It didn't stop there, though. Around 6th grade, I developed a horrible forehead acne, something that my mom made me feel normal about. But kids didn't think so, asking me constantly if those was warts growing out of my face or was it bugs biting me. These things consistently digging a deeper hole of things that I believed to be normal within myself, but being constantly teared down by my fellow peers. The negative self-talk started there, and those were my imperfections for years. Secondly, I would like to talk about how this internally consumed me. Prior to the first interaction of someone being mean, I had to deal with problems of overthinking. Nevertheless, the first time someone said something about my looks, it all went downhill from there. That was all I could think about. The consumption of thoughts is something serious. In a state of thinking when someone was looking at me, they were thinking about all the imperfections that they could see. A battle within my mind brewed for a very, very long time. The process to learning to love it. It was a hard one, for sure. I didn't necessarily start to truly love myself until about 2 years ago. It took a big reflection when it came to a breaking point, crying over the way I looked. Silly, sitting on the floor of my bedroom, holding back tears, speaking negatively about how myself it looked. It was crazy. Crazy to hate myself when everyone isn't meant to look the same. Affirmations helped me to learn the words are the fuel to the brain, understanding consistently, repeating the words that you're beautiful, you are strong, and so forth. It really did work. It was hard to be consistent, but looking at myself now, I smile and am grateful to know I am different. Standards aren't real until we make them. Feeding into a mindset so badly, we'll never stop the cycle. So self-love was important. Writing down in my journal what I appreciate in my looks. It seems so small and important, but reading it back makes you realize you are so much more. More than silly little words someone has to say to you. Lastly, taking a walk put me in the most perspective of things when it came to loving myself. To clear the mind, but realize how much I am worth. In conclusion, although there are things hundreds of people can say to you to tear you down, from the way you look to the way you talk, it is important to understand that there is one of you only. One person that holds a beautiful value. What you say matters to most of the others' opinions. In the case, yours is always not remembered. Taking a step back and looking at all your imperfections and appreciating them is the most important thing you can do for yourself.